Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Coming at you today with another book review, and it is the second book that I finished in July. It is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. The other book that I finished this month was Beach Read by Emily Henry, and if you'd like to check out that book review, make sure to click here. The reason that I picked this book, I'll be quite frank, it came up in our book club book for the month, and that aside, it's something that I've always wanted to read. I've always wanted to read an Agatha Christie book. I think at this point we've all heard of Agatha Christie. She's kind of a classic. She's the best-selling author of all time. And if you haven't heard of her, then you've definitely been subject to her influence. She is the quintessential whodunit murder mystery author. Anytime you see people trapped in a house or an isolated situation and there's a mysterious murder amongst the group, you better thank Agatha Christie for that, because she is the queen of that type of story. Like last time, I'm going to be providing you guys with a brief synopsis of the book, what I liked or loved about it, what I didn't like so much about it, and finally, how I would rank it out of 5 stars. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video to see what's coming next. Let's jump right in. Okay, so it's just after midnight. A snowdrift stops the famous Orient Express in its tracks as it travels through the mountainous Balkans. The luxurious train is surprisingly full for the time of year, but by the morning, it is one passenger fewer. An American tycoon lies dead in his compartment, stabbed a dozen times, his door locked from the inside. One of the passengers is none other than Detective Hercule Poirot on vacation. Isolated and with a killer on board, Poirot must identify the murderer in case he or she decides to strike again. So, what did I like about this book? First of all, it was very fast and easy to read. There was absolutely no filler in this book whatsoever. Every chapter, every scene had a purpose and was driving to a conclusion. It was building on something, which was understanding the case around this murder. Very straight to the point. I loved it for that. Even though it was straight to the point, you still got an amazing sense of the atmosphere, the vibe, who the characters were, what their motivations were. It was so well done. It really does keep you guessing up until the end of the book, because the clues that Poirot stumbles upon are puzzling and contradicting in a lot of cases. So for that, it's great. It really keeps you on the edge of your toes. Is that a saying? It really keeps you, I think it really keeps you on the edge of your seat. When we were discussing this book at our book club meeting, one of the girls actually was already familiar with the story. She'd either read it before or watched the movie. I don't remember exactly why, but she said that as she was reading the book, she could clue into the different pieces of evidence and connect it to the end. Whereas the rest of us who were kind of reading this for the first time, it was impossible to tell. So it's really cool to hear from those two different perspectives. Like if you're familiar with the story, you'll be able to pick up on what Agatha Christie's putting down, and you'll be able to pick up on all the clues, and it's very obvious once you know how it ends. But as a first-time reader, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I really couldn't tell at all who the murder was, and it was amazing for that. I loved it. I loved the surprise at the end. So that just speaks to Agatha Christie's brilliant writing, because writing and executing a book like this takes a lot of forethought and planning, and it was just executed flawlessly. I also absolutely love our main character, Hercule Poirot. He's just such a baddie. One of my favorite lines in the book that is really niche and probably went under the radar for a lot of people, but he straight up just tells the guy who ends up getting murdered, "I don't like your face," and I love it. The brutal honesty is so good. He also calls an old lady straight up ugly, which was like, damn, Poirot, that is cutthroat. Even though the book was written in the 1930s, it's still very easily readable while also still sounding incredibly intelligent. It's just so well done. Very easy, intelligent, not complicated at all to follow. And finally, as I've been preluding to, I absolutely loved the ending. It was perfect, if you ask me. Again, no filler. It ended perfectly. Chef's kiss. Okay, now what did I not like about the book so much? There is one very minor thing that I thought could be improved upon, and that's at times there was actually French in the dialogue, which wasn't translated. So I'd have to go to a translator and translate the words, which was a little inconvenient, but honestly, it did feel immersive, because Poirot is from Belgium and they speak French there, so he's speaking his native tongue, and I get it. Okay, so I am ranking this book 5 stars. It was great. I can't fault it. Highly recommend, and I cannot wait to read another Agatha Christie book. I 100% see what the hype is about and why people love her books so much. They're classics for a reason. So fun. Love it, love it, love it. Read it. Tell me what you guys think about it because I absolutely loved it. Next up on my channel, after I do my 2 July book reviews, you're going to be getting a tips for readers or how to get out of a reading slump video, so make sure you tune in for that. You can also check out my Instagram and Goodreads accounts. Links are in the description. Subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Happy reading!